Hello students, I am going to discuss tissues from biology. Before I do that, if you have any problems or any doubts regarding the chapter cells, please get it clarified. You can ask the questions and get get the concepts clarified, right? Because essentially tissue chapter is based on cells. So if you don't have a concept from the chapter cells, then you'll struggle a little bit here. All right, please get it clear. To understand tissue, we have to understand few basic concepts beforehand. One of them is the concept of unicellular organisms. Now what happens in unicellular organism? Let's take the example of amoeba. All of you have must learned. So amoeba is an unicellular organism in the sense that it has only one cell, and this single cell single-handedly performs many important processes like digestion, respiration, excretion, and many more. There can be many more, right? So all the essential life activities of the organism, when I say organism, it means only one cell, right, are performed by single cell only, right? So this is for the unicellular organism. But what happens in a multicellular organism? Multicellular organisms like us, right? Human beings are multicellular organisms, right? So if we are a multicellular organisms, we have multiple cells. All right. So now all the processes like a respiration, digestion, and excretion and the others are not performed by a single cell, isn't it? What happens in us? All these activities, respiration, digestion, excretion, and all the essential activities are performed by multiple cells, right? What we basically have is that we have dedicated cells for each functions, right? That means we have a group of cells that performs a particular function, and this group of cells that performs a particular function together is called a tissue, right? All the cells in our body are dividing the functions, right? And a group of cells which perform similar functions is called tissue. This process of dividing functions is called the process of division of labor, right? So which are the essential terms you have learned here? One is a division of labor, another is a tissue. All right, please try to remember these concepts. Concept of tissue, what is a tissue, what is division of labor, and why multicellular organisms need division of labor. After learning the concept of tissue and what it is, it's time to learn the difference between plant tissue and animal tissue. All right, and how they're different. Basically, plants are not motile, immotile. Motile means it doesn't move from one place to another place. However, animals are motile, right? So you can easily understand the tissues in both the cases will be different because animals are motile and plants are non-motile. So how exactly they are different? A plant, because it is stationary, is fixed, right, position, it doesn't move, and it needs to stand erect. So basically the support lage because it that's why a plant is basically maximum of plant cells are dead cells or dead tissues. All right, However, an animal, because it has to move in all places, it is made of living cells. Is the first difference understood? The plant is made up of dead cells, and the animal are made up of living cells. Why plant is made up of dead cells? Because it needs support, and dead cells can easily provide the support. Right? This is the first difference. Now, another difference is the plant, if you observe carefully here, the plant does not need to grow in all these areas. It needs to grow here, the roots, isn't it? And it needs to grow here, leaves and stems, right? However, the animal needs to grow everywhere. Try to understand the difference. This red portion, it doesn't need to grow here after a limit. Obviously অকমান grow হব তাৰপিছত ৰখি যাব, but the animal has to grow in all the regions, right? So that's why in plants we have non-dividing cells. Non-dividing cells in this portion, because divide হব নালাগে, grow কৰিব নালাগে, but in this portion we will have dividing cells, right? You can easily guess to animals what ki hobo, what will happen in animals, dividing or non-dividing. In all the portions we have dividing cells only, because we need to grow, right? Is the two difference between plant tissues and animal tissues clear? So please, you people try to address these two questions. One is what is tissue definition, and second is a difference between plant tissue and animal tissue, right? These two questions, please try to answer these two questions based on the video whatever I have discussed today. And I want you to read, just go to chapter and read the first page only. After that there are two questions, and try to solve those two questions also, right? Please read the chapter. Reading the chapter is very important in biology. Read the chapter, underline the important points. If you still have some doubts, you can ask. All right, best of luck.